Okay, so good evening, everyone. So you will realize that for today we have slightly more people, mainly because for this March, the Patreon is made public lah. So all the webinar lah or whatever that I post on Patreon, right, is actually publicly available. So those of you who are first time in our weekly webinar, right? I tend to go through a few things. Number one, I'll go through the fund flow for Singapore market. After I go through the fund flow for the Singapore market, I tend to go through the indexes, how the general health of the market is doing, mainly from a technical perspective. As you all know, I am a technical trader. I uses zero fundamental in all my analysis and trades. So mainly everything will be from a technical perspective. And after that, I like to go through the scanner and I try to look at a few good trades that are coming up in the coming week. Aside from that, I also cover a bit of other stuff like very ad hoc stuff that tends to come up every now and then. So for this particular week, right, it will be slightly this webinar will be slightly special because I'd like to go through a few things rather the current market status and if you have been trading through since if you have been trading since last year um September, October until now, right? What are the kind of thing that you should be expect? Because obviously, as you all know, recently we have about uh, four additional counter that were hit with a stop loss in the current week, lah. And so if you are doing pretty bad in the month of February and probably during this first week of March also, right? There's really nothing to worry about, mainly because generally if the broad market is stagnant or slightly heading downwards, right? It is quite foreseeable that most of some of our counters will be hitting stop loss here a bit here and there lah. And also I also go through my so-called my trade spreadsheet here just to let you know how's the current status for our trade setup is like lah. So this trade spreadsheet, right, I will post on Patreon from time to time. It is actually available to everyone, regardless of if you subscribe to Patreon or not lah. So this is a public information. So as you can see from a few months back, we were about one stop loss, but actually during this month, we did take a bit of other stop loss position. So in this trades, right, all these trades are those that have been made on Patreon. So every time I put up a trade setup in Patreon, right, it will come up here. It will be populated here. But do note that the information put up here is not real time, so please do not use this as a trade signal. I only update this like every when I'm free lah. So sometimes it can be once every 2 day or sometimes it can be during weekend, but I will try to update it every weekend lah. So during Saturday, Sunday, when you look at this, right, it will actually be the fully updated version for the whole week lah. So each time a trade has taken profit or taken a loss, right, there will be a link posted here. So this link is the trading view link lah. So this link are actually private link. So unless I put the link here, right, you cannot find this information on my trading view one. So if you follow my trading view account, right, you can't see all these trade unless I publicly post the link lah. This is of course to be fair to the subscriber. We don't want all the trade to be made public just because you follow my trading view lah. So as you can see that we have taken quite a bit of profit in January, but from February, from somewhere around February to March, right, things are more or less either still remain open or lost. So under in the chart data, what you can see here is I have four pie chart. At the top, right, we have total trade outcome and total trade by market. So total trade mean it is all the trade here. So among all the trade here, right, we currently have about 16 taken profit, 8 that has been taken stop loss, and about 22 that is still remaining open. And if I sort of segregate them by market, I have 10 in Hong Kong, 16 in Singapore, and 20 in US. But at the bottom, you will see Zos position, Zos trades by market. So these are the position that I personally take lah. So you can see that you can see all these tick here, right? It means that I personally take this position. So if you look at it, I don't take every single trade that I post. Why? Mainly because I don't have unlimited capital. Or when I feel that perhaps when market is slightly weak, right, I do not take the trade also. Or it can be also that my capital is fully utilized, nothing is hitting TP, nothing is hitting stop loss. So I do not have the cash to take all the new trades lah, which is what happening here actually. So until now, right, I don't really have any new trades since Palantir, mainly because all my capital are being used up and I am unable to enter new trade lah. So I'm holding on to all the stop loss lah. So yeah, so this is how you see this lah. Okay, so let's briefly go through the fund flow analysis for Singapore market. So you can see that for last week, right, Singapore market is actually we are looking at the blue lah, the blue lines because blue line is referring to the institutional, the smart money lah. So we can see that blue line is on the positive side for last week, and I believe tomorrow when the fund flow data is updated, I believe tomorrow will be on the positive side also, meaning it is above this zero line lah. What I have been sharing for quite some time back is that you can see that during COVID period from last year March until the end of last year like that, right? The institutional have been mainly on the negative side lah. Then while you can see that currently the institutional is back on the positive side. So it is a sign of a signal that market is not really bearish until we start to see a very huge spike down like something like this lah. You can see that the blue line does dip below zero a bit, but it tends to recover back. So I don't until I see a very clear sign that this whole thing is like turning into below zero, right? I'm not really that bearish on Singapore market. And if you look at the right side, you can see that the cumulative fund flow chart, right? The institutional have been negative for very long since the COVID period, but you can see as of like around November last year, we have started to turn back up, and hopefully this area, right? Let me draw so that I can see clearly. Hopefully this area here is a higher low and we can continue to recover upwards. But of course, this is sometime in the future lah. We are not going to be making trades based on this kind of prediction, but rather we trade what we see. The only thing that we are taking here from this is that market is not really as bearish as it seems. So we do not want to be engaging in any shorting, or we do not want to like stop trading altogether. But we will be cautious in how we approach our trade. As you can see that recently, I don't really post as much trade setup as often back in January, mainly because market is in somewhat a stagnation mode lah. So we do not want to enter too many trade and get stuck also. Okay, so if we reflect back to our STI chart, right, you can see that STI, as per the fund flow, right, during November, we have a very bullish period since November. And until now, if you look at it, Singapore is still considered, I will say, bullish in the last 2 weeks lah. So if I put this on a weekly time frame, right? If I put this on a weekly time frame, you can see that this week and last week, right, is actually quite bullish for Singapore. Whereas if you look at it for other indexes, like for example S&P, right, it is quite red lah. And if we look at HSI is also, Hong Kong is also pretty red. And you can see that Dow Jones is also somewhat red for the last 2 weeks, whereas STI is generally still okay. And as I have mentioned many times, the STI current support is at 2800, somewhere there lah, 28000, 2800. So as long as this level is not broken, right? As long as this level is not broken, I do remain bearish on the Singapore index itself lah. Okay, Hi. I like to apologize that I don't really take stock requests, mainly because if I if I sh- try to give my view based on one person request, everyone will start requesting, and end up I will spend the whole session handling people's stock requests rather than sharing things lah. I apologize that stock request is not part of Patreon lah. And okay, sorry for the interruption and for the other index also, right? As you have seen my post recently, S&P is also still on the bullish side in the sense that the support is still held at 3770 this area here. So until this area is like decisively broken, right, I will still remain bullish lah. And same thing for the Dow Jones, similarly we have a support around this level here, 29760. So until this area is broken, right, I'm still sort of on the positive side. Hong Kong is slightly, I would say, while the support at this level, around 28200, it is still held, right? Currently the market is much more volatile. You can see that it gaps up and then close down. So it is much more volatile compared to the other two. So when the market is volatile, right, what can happen is that even though you have a support here, price can actually go all the way below and then it start to recover. So you do not want to be caught in this kind of very high volatile move, which is why recently you do not see me posting many Hong Kong counter, mainly because I do want to avoid this kind of situation. Okay. So with that said, right, overall the general market structure, it is not bearish yet, although in short term things are stagnant, sideways, or even going down a bit, right? The major support are still intact. So until those support get broken, right, I am not bearish at all. So if you are facing a few losses here and there, right, what you can do is you can stop entering any trade until those that you are holding start to recover. If those that you are holding haven't recovered yet, right, then stop taking any new trades lah. Just hold on there for a while. I I am always posting new trades almost every week. I will post about two or three at least lah. But that doesn't mean that you need to take all the trade that I post. Uh, because perhaps you have been holding like 4 or 5 trades already, so you do not want to take the new trades that I posted. But perhaps for other people, right, maybe they only have one trades that they are holding, they are still looking out to maybe make another 2 or 3 more trades. So you do have to understand that there is a lot of different types of trader in my Patreon. So I do need to sort of cater for everyone. Just be very mindful that just because I'm making trade setup, right, doesn't mean you need to die trade lah. So be do your DYODD a bit lor. Okay. So with that said, I want to share something today, which is I have 4 trade journals. I have 4 trade journals of my trainee from the previous batch, the previous batch as in the batch that I took up last year August, like that lah. So this particular batch, they have actually come to the end of their course already, but I'm still giving I'm still checking out on them to see how they are doing now. So what I have here is I have their trade performance, that the trades that they executed during the course itself. So all these trades are, of course, they took the trade themselves. I have very minimal input, but what I do is look at the trade that they took independently, and then I look at the trade, and I will sort of coach them along the way lah. Like perhaps this stop loss is too little, or that stop loss is too high, or you are entering too much trade, try to hold back a bit, or perhaps the trades that you are entering is not really very good. Maybe you will want to change your style a bit. That kind of thing now. So because the February and March week have been somewhat a bearish period, right? I do want to let you see that how my trainees are doing, and whether if their situation is the same as yours. So with that said, right, I'll go through some of the journal. Of course, their name has been blanked out lah, to sort of to be private a bit, and all these trade data I have blanked out also. So what you can see here, right, the data here. So this is journal one. What you see here is the data from November, December, and January. So this person only have until January lah. He or she haven't updated for the February one yet. So what you can see from the trade data is that from November until end of January, right? This trader have a very bullish period, and the thing is that if you look at the S&P itself, right? If you look at the S&P chart itself, um, you can also see that from November period. Let me change to daily. From about October to November period, from this period to until like end Jan, right? End Jan is somewhere here. Somewhere here, right? It's actually quite a bullish period. So you can see that this person is this trader is able to take advantage of the bullish market and is able to make all these trades lah. So you can see all the counters that was traded during this period, and there were majority of them were profits, and I'm sure most of these counters should be quite familiar to you, such as 9天 LAC, Spotify, Union Gas, Clean Energy, Fuel Cell, Franken, I think High P along the way. So what I'm trying to say from this is that when the market is bullish, right, your account should be bullish also. So let's say during from November until now, January, your trading is like negative, then you have to sort of look back and see what you are doing wrong with your trading, and whether your strategy need to be changed or not. Because when markets go when market goes up, right, when market is going up like this, your account should be also going up like this. So when market turns, your account should also turns as similarly turns up, but of course, as your counter gets stuck to get cut loss here, left and right, of course you want to limit your losses also. So even though market might go down so much, right, your account might not go down by that much, mainly because you cut loss to provide further losses. And when market eventually recovers, your account should equally recover as well. So for trader one, because this trader does not really have a period for February, right? We can't really see what's going on in the February period lah. So let's go to another trade journal, which is journal 2. You can see for this person, the trade journal is from November, December, January, and February. So same thing, we are looking at the same period from this November onwards until end of February, like that. So you will see for this journal, right, the data is slightly more reflective of the market, which you can actually see here until end of from November until Jan, right? Let me turn off January and February. Sorry. Let me, okay. So if you look at from November and December, right, it's actually quite a bullish period lah. But when January came, you can see that his accounts, his or her account start to a bit stagnant already. And of course, when February came, the account also start to up down a bit, but it is stagnant there. But I mean, it dropped down a bit from the high lah. So this kind of thing is, this kind of result is very reasonable and very expected, because when market is turning, right, you cannot be expecting to make so much profit when the market is sort of being stagnant lah. But what is very important is that you can see while the market turn, right, this trader is able to retain majority of the profit that he made during November to January, like that. So he made this much profit, but when market is going down, right, his account didn't go down so much. His account is sort of still remaining there lah. So during this period, it's very important for trader not to get panic. Follow your trading plan, follow your risk management, and sort of tide through this period lah, until market recover. So let's say if you are the kind of trader, right? Very YOLO lah, very chongster. From November to January, very happy. Market go up, your account also go up, chong chong chong. Then suddenly market like stagnant a bit, your account, instead of like limiting your loss, right? Your account suddenly drop all the way back down. You return back all your profit during this stagnant period. And this kind of trader, right? It is very very common in the market. Why is it very common? Because when market is bullish, right, I can tell you that almost everyone can make profit. You throw stone also can make profit. But the question is, when the market is bullish, right, how much profit can you make? So a good trader will be able to maximize the profit during market uptrend, while the bad trader will still make profit, but will only be able to make a bit of profit because got a bit of money run already, got a bit of money already. But when markets start to retreat, right, the good trader definitely will make a loss, but the account will sort of stagnant a bit, mainly because all the stop loss hit here and there, and account will drop a bit lah. Whereas the bad trader, right, still very chonster, don't know what's going on, don't know stop loss, will lose back all his profit back here. So the determining factor that sort of separate the good trader from the bad trader is actually this: when you lose money, when you are making money, right, you must be able to make a lot, and when the market turns, right, you must be able to limit your loss. But it is the unfortunate nature of most trader is that when making a bit of money, trader tend to get overconfident. They tend to believe that whatever strategy they are using is the best, and then they start to overtrade. So when market turns, right, they lose a lot. When a good trader, the for a good trader, when market turns, right, their profile should be stagnant a bit lah. Okay, so let's look at another trade journal. This one is journal 2. Let's look at journal 4. Okay, so clear order. Okay, so this is another trade journal. I have November, December. Sorry, all these I cannot blank out lah, but I try to blank out as much as possible. So for this trader, the result is from November, December, January, and February also. So somewhat similar. You can see that this person is slightly more aggressive, very aggressive. Aggressive. You can see that because there's a lot of trade taken here. From here until here, right? You can see there's a lot of trade compared to just now, right? This person not so much. Then this person also not so much compared to this person. The is a lot of trade, very very aggressive trader. But aggressive trader is also good because when market go up, right, his profit will chong up. But the thing is, when market turn, right, because he's holding a lot of open position during the bullish period, right? When market suddenly turn, he will get a bit of a stop loss also lah. He will get hit with slightly more stop loss compared to those who doesn't trade a lot lah. But the thing is that even though his account turned by a bit more compared to the other two, right? You can see that overall the profit is actually a lot from here until here. If you look at the profit amount, it's actually a lot more, even though there's a decline here lah. But once again, the message here is that when market is going up, you want to be making profit. When market is going down, you want to be minimizing your profit. How do you minimize profit? That is by sticking to the stop loss. Always stick to the stop loss. If you stick to the stop loss, and if you follow, if you read my Patreon, right, in one of the introduction posts, there is a very clear post that teach you how to calculate how many lots you are supposed to trade and what is the appropriate amount of risk you should be taking. So even if you are hit with 6-7 loss in a row, right, you are going to be getting about 7% loss of your total account, because my recommendation is about 1% of your account per trade position. If you cannot take 1% risk per trade position because it is too low, right, and your commission is very high, right, then unfortunately your trading account size is too small. So a comfortable account size will be around 20k to 30k. Best is 50k. 50k account size is the most comfortable. If you are anywhere below that, right, you will find yourself either taking too much risk or you can't trade much at all. You trade one counter, right, then all your capital is used up already lah. So it is also very, very important that you choose a brokerage with very, very low minimum commission or even doesn't have minimum commission. Or for example, Tiger currently does not have minimum commission fees lah. So without any minimum commission, right, you are able to trade as little as you can without racking up a lot of commission costs lah. So you can see that I have three traders, three traders, and almost all of them, right, during the February period, they are facing a bit of decline. And that is, I want to say, is perfectly normal. We are not God. We are not here to predict the market. And as I always say that as a trader, what makes you a good trader is how you make profit during the uptrend and how you limit your loss during the downtrend. So let's go to the last one. So what you can see here is also major these four trader, right? They are of different experience. Two of them are quite experienced in trading. The other two of them is slightly more new lah. They haven't been trading a lot until they join lah. So I'm not sure if you can tell from the result itself, because if I give you this result blind, right, you might not be able to tell who are the newbie, who are the new, who are the so-called more experienced one lah. So okay, let's look at this account. You can see this account also is from November, December, January, February. You can see that same thing during November to around January, like that the account went up a lot, profit a lot, but somewhere around January to February, right, the whole trade stagnant a bit lah. So this one slightly I would say if you compare it in a blank space, right, just blind, right, this account does seems the best, because during the profit period there's a sharp spike, then during the decline period, right, it's actually stagnant. It's not really heading downwards lah. The this trader still able to maintain a bit lah. But overall, what you can sort of still see is that during the November period we are going up, but during the January February period we are going sideways. So so what you can do now is at least go and look back at your trade, look back at your trading history and see from November until now, right? How is your trading performance like? Is it November, December period you like that? Then during January, February, your account dive down. Or during November, December, you are going down. Then during this period, you are going up. Then if this the case, right, you are probably shorting lah. If you are playing long and got this kind, right, I'm not I'm you are probably playing with penny stocks, which doesn't really follow the market movement, which is, I mean, perfectly fine also lah. But as you know, most of my trades, right, there are some penny stock once in a while, but that it's a very small amount lah. So do reflect back at your trade. So my personal account is somewhat like this also. I'm like during November, December I'm going up, but during January, February, like I'm going to stagnant down somewhere, something like this lah. So if your account is like this, right, do not worry, do not panic, do not fear like your strategy doing this or what, because market always go up and down. And your strategy as a whole, right, it is impossible for one strategy to make money in the market all the time. But what a strategy should encompass is during downtime, right, your strategy should be limiting your loss lah. You should not, during downtime you should not be making more loss than your profit. So if your strategy make you lose more during downturn than your profit during the uptrend, right, then you should look at and readjust a bit lah. Okay. So this is the main thing that I want to go through, mainly because since we have been hitting a bit of stop loss recently, right, I just want to make sure, like, let everyone know that it is not uncommon. It is just how the market is right now, and it is what most of my trainee are facing, and myself is facing also lah. So with that said, right, let's continue on with some of the counters. So I'll be showing you the scanner. So you should have seen this on the you should have saw this tool in Patreon already. It has been posted already, the scanner for today. So if you are not in the Telegram, right, please go and join the Telegram group. It is somewhere in the Patreon post lah. So you can see that for today, there is Hourglass and sorry, not today, yesterday, there is Hourglass and Apex Reality. So you can see that among the counters, right, these two are doing relatively quite well. So for Hourglass, there's a big gap up and price chung up further, and it actually broke all the real-time high lah. So I think there's some news or what. I'm not really sure what's going on with this. Suppose if you wish to trade this, right? I mean, given how the market situation is, this seems like the most bullish setup that I can find. I can sort of find during this current period lah. Okay, so this that does this counter came up in the top 30? Let me sign in my poem real quick. Poem. Is Hourglass here? Nope, don't see any Hourglass. So the purpose of the scanner, right? Sometimes, right, a lot of people rely on top 30 volume to see what is the most popular counter for the week for the day, or they try to look at here to search for trading ideas like what to trade, this and that. But the thing is, sometimes, right, uh top 30 is top 30 volume lah. But sometimes there's a lot of counter in the market, right, that the volume is not high enough to hit top 30, so it will never appear up here. So if it never appear here, right, it is like somewhat lying under the radar. It's like not here, not there. And if you don't go and look at every single chart on the on the market, right, on the Singapore market, right, you might miss counter like both Hourglass and Apex Reality, unless you already have these two in your watch list lah, or you somehow hear these two from like Facebook group or someone else who have this in your watch list, right? Perhaps these two counter might sort of escape your radar lah. So that's the purpose of the scanner result itself. It is there to uh flag out and fish out certain counters that are sort of doing well, and they are under the radar. They are sort of hidden from the top 30 view lah. They are not within the top 30 volume lah. So it is good to look at the counters in the scanner once in a while to see if you can spot any. But of course, not all the counters that shows up in the scanner are viable for trading. You still have to go and individually look at the chart to see whether if you can place a trade or not lah. So for Hourglass, right, if you want to trade this, your stop loss, right, your stop loss should be somewhere below here before the rally starts, or perhaps maybe even here. Okay, somewhere here, 770 before the rally start, because it is very easy for price to suddenly just come down like that, and then after that it start to go further upward. So your stop loss should be somewhere here. So once you know where to set your stop loss ready, right, you can enter wherever you want. You can enter at the market. Sorry, where the stop loss go? Okay, you can enter at the market price. You can wait for price to retrace. Whatever style you can enter. So whenever I place a trade, right, the only thing that I care about is where my stop loss is. The entry doesn't really matter to me. Sometimes I'll just enter on market open and then put my stop loss, and then I'll just leave it there. Even if it goes back down or retrace, right, I don't really matter. But perhaps if you feel uncomfortable with stop loss here and placing a trade at market price, right, you can definitely wait for price to go down lower, and then you place your trade there. Then you won't lose so much lah. Okay, but the thing is, if you do that, right, you run the risk that if the stock continue to shoot up, right, then you are missing the trade really. So what I normally do, right, what I personally do is I will enter 50% here, then I will enter maybe another 50% somewhere when if the market drop lah, if price come back down lah. So at least if price come back down, you can your average price is lower, If price go up, you still have some lots there lah. So it is really up to you on how you want to manage it. As long as you get your stop loss right, you are relatively safe. So okay, so from today's scanner, I think Hourglass is a relatively good trade. So let's look at APEC Reality. So for those who um uh did not remember, APEC Reality was a trade setup that I made sometime back in November. I think back then it wasn't on Patreon yet. Let me check. Let me check if it's on Patreon or not. I don't think it's on Patreon yet. Nah, it's not on Patreon yet, but it's actually on Facebook. Like you can go to my Facebook group and go and find Apex Reality. So the trade setup came out somewhere here. Then after that, stop loss was I think here, and then we held for like so long until it hit the TP somewhere here lah. We finally hit the TP. Now it's coming back up here. So although it has not break out from the resistance, right? The volume behind the movement is quite strong. So there are two ways you can play this, but whatever way you want to play, right? Always take care of your stop loss first. So for this trade, right, the stop loss will be somewhere here. Why? Because obviously, this is the support. You want your stop loss to be below the support, but you also don't want your stop loss to be right at the support there because it can just touch and go. Okay, so you want to be lower a bit, slightly lower a bit, and you can place your stop loss there. So once you got your stop loss there, right, you can do what you can do is if you it's really depend on you, no right no wrong. If you want to enter market open, if you want to enter market open on Monday, right, is up to you. Or if you want to wait for price to go up a bit until the resistance is broken, right, is up to you also. Whatever you do, make sure that the stop loss is here, then you are quite fine. Okay, so there's only two counter for STI lah. So I will not be going through Hong Kong or US counter, mainly because I looked through already, and there's nothing really sort of interesting happening there. Also to take note that both US S&P and Dow ended quite bullish, but although they ended bullish, right, there isn't any really attractive stuff coming on the scanner itself. So normally in this kind of thing, right, what we are trying to avoid is that sorry, connection a bit unstable. Okay, so what we are trying to avoid is that we since the scanner is not giving any good counters, right? We don't want to force a trade because it can be very possible that next week the whole thing can just drop back down again, which is a very possible scenario lah. But at least we want to see another bullish week. Once we see another bullish week, right? You will realize that the scanner start to give a lot more counters ready, and it is somewhat safe to consider. Okay, we probably won't hit back down already. We are continue to going up. Then I will start to make more US trade. And also currently I have a lot of US trade pending here. So I don't want to add more US trade onto this. Okay, so when the market is like very dry, right? Nothing to enter, everything dropping, right? What I like to do is I like to look back at all the counters that I have taken profit in the past. So I actually sort of make a watch list to sort of track all the counters that I have hit the TP lah. And among all those counters that I have hit TP, right, I like to see which one of them are still bullish. So in a way, right, it does require a bit of effort on your part. But of course, if you want to make money from the market, right, that's the least kind of effort that you should be making lah. So these are the list of counters that I gathered from all my previous trade. So I go back and look back all my trades, right, all my profit trades, and I see which one of them are still sort of still bullish lah. So let me go through them. Prop next definitely still bullish. Actually, Prop Next came out on Scanner, if I'm not wrong, on Thursday. On Thursday or Friday. Yeah, so it came out on Scanner, and actually, it broke out of the resistance. You can see that it has gone through the all-time high also. So for those who doesn't remember, right, the prop next call came somewhere, I forgot already, maybe here or here. Then after that we have taken profit and it still continue to going up lah. So you can consider this also. Okay, of course, if you take this trade, then stop loss is somewhere here. Next, Union Gas. Okay, Union Gas is one of the star lah, I would say. I think the very first call was here. I think then there was a second call here. Then after that, it does show up on scanner quite a lot of time. If you are paying attention, and it is continue to go up and up lah. So right now, it's somewhat stagnant a bit. You can see that there's a big red candle, big engulfing candle coming in, but it does also seem that of course seller are taking profit, but while seller are taking profit, right, there are some signs that buyers are coming on, buyers are coming to support also. So this area, right, 0.660, right, seems like a good support so far lah. But I do not suggest to buy in yet until we see a bit more candles in the next few days lah. Because if you just buy in now, right, it can fall back until like maybe around 55 cents like that, and you could have gotten much lower lah. Currently, as it is, right, you can continue to monitor this. Okay, Caterpillar is from the US side. So Caterpillar, I think the first trade call was somewhere here, and then we managed to TP at like, was it there or maybe here? We managed to TP around 200, and now it's continuing to go up. So whether you want to take this trade, I think is really up to you, but I will wait for the breakout to happen rather than take the trade here lah. Next one, Food Empire. Food Empire is way back. This trade came out way back in Facebook era before I start the Patreon. I remember very clearly that the first trade setup was here. And then after we entered the trade setup, a lot of people complained that it stuck so long, never move. Then I got a few friends that exited the trade somewhere here because it's not moving. Then after that, the whole thing just ran all the way up lah. Okay, so sometimes we do not know if this kind of thing will happen. We will never ever know, but it is very important that you keep to your stop loss and don't prematurely exit lah. And for this counter, you can see recently there's some selling also, but look for support around this area lah. Look for support around this area. We perhaps it can make another up move here, but wait, can continue to monitor lah. Although I would not recommend going in right now. Next one, Innotech, same thing. One of the counters that I think back in November, also back in last year November, the trade was last year November like that, somewhere like I forgot, can't tell. I think somewhere here, I think somewhere here. Then after that, we are going quite high already lah. And you can see price is still relatively a very good uptrend. So you can do a few things. You can enter here. If you enter there, right, your stop loss is like here. Okay. Or you can wait for another scenario, which is wait for the breakout, enter the breakout, then your stop loss can be here. Next, this is a Hong Kong counter, Healthcare. So Healthcare actually first trade, there were actually I think two trades or one trade on it. I forgot already. But the first trade also probably came out around somewhere here, Hong Kong counter lah. And currently it chung up and then now it's coming back down. So I'm hoping to see some support around $6 lah, around 6 Hong Kong dollar level. And you can see there's a bit of bullishness coming in already. And if you are looking to buy this, right, stop loss can be safely below here, around 5.3 like that. You can sort of buy the next low lah, so-called this next low. Next one, clean energy. This one slightly more speculative, but with speculative counter come great reward lah. So if you are looking to buy this, quite seems like this area is a support. So this one slightly more risky because if you are hit with stop loss, right, you might lose quite a bit. Because the whole thing is very volatile lah, and as because it is volatile, right, it's very easy to hit stop loss also because it can just touch your stop loss and just run up. So the stop loss for this should be around like $8 level. Hopefully this area will be a new support area lah. This area will be a new support area and price will start to go up. At least even if it even if it recovers until somewhere here, right, you will have earned quite a substantial profit, about 47%, with a very relatively good risk at about 25%. Avagra, okay, Avagra is somewhat doing okay. I think previously the trade setup maybe here, somewhere here, eventually hit the TP after like many donkey years ago. But overall, it is seems to be in a like building up for up move lah. So watch out for this resistance. If this resistance can break up, right, I think it will be very good. So the stop loss will be somewhere around here, 265. Here, 265. So all these are just suggestion. I personally did not make a trade setup yet, but sometimes I might not be very free also. So it is good that I put all these stock in your radar. If you have your own strategy, if you have your own trading style, right, you can take all these trade by yourself. So it doesn't mean that like you must follow my style, but if you are very experienced in your own style, very profitable already, right? I'm just giving you some stock that you can look at lah. Next one, Walt Disney. So Disney's trade came out here. Stop loss was like somewhere here, barely almost hit, and then we sort of get the TP level there lah. And currently it does seems like it is this area is becoming a support. So if you enter there, right, you can actually have a very aggressive. You can go for a very aggressive trade with a stop loss like somewhere here like that, like around 170, like around 170, and then you should be able to get this trade. Lastly, Jaffa. So Jaffa, I forgot when the trade came in, but I'm guessing it's probably somewhere here lah. So now it seems like we have a support that's coming in here. Resistance is coming in here. You can wait for the breakout. Either wait for the breakout or wait for it to come back to support, and then you can buy here. Then you can wait for the breakout lah. Of course, if you then your stop loss will be like somewhere here lah. Okay. So of course, if you buy the support, then there's a chance that you are going to get stuck. But if you buy the breakout, you might not get stuck. But the thing is, your entry is much higher. And if you buy the support, entry much lower, but you risk getting stuck. So there's always pros and cons. There's never a perfect trade, everything win-win. There's always some risk, some pros and cons that you as a trader need to determine you can take it or not. So there's no such thing as 100% trade. So yeah, we come to the end of the session. So I do hope I give you all some insight on how the current market is like and how myself and my trainees are personally doing. We definitely follow the trend of the market lah. But the key thing is, of course, when market goes up, we want to be making a lot. When market goes down, we don't want to lose as much as the market. So that's how trader beat the market, because when market up, you take as much profits as you can. But when market down, trader have the choice to limit our loss. But when market go down, it will just go all the way down. So we beat the market by limiting the loss when market is continuously going down. So if you want to beat the S&P, right, that's how you do it lah. Okay, so all the best for next week. I'm personally hope market does recover lah. I'm still holding about 4-5 position. Although I have taken about four loss already, I'm still holding 4 positions. So hopefully these 4 positions start to recover and things start to look a bit better lah. Okay, so that's all from me, and thanks everyone. As usual, this video will be uploaded. Good night.